Alrighty, here's the one I've been waiting for. I mean, I've loved every one so far. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying them, but this one, extra special. We're going to showcase the absolute power of Blast Zone. I'm quite happy to have brought that land back in, not just to ramp out some of our bigger dinos, but to bring the pain to some of those lower cost decks, stuff that has a lot of creatures at 1 or maybe a lot of creatures at 2, as this deck kind of can have. Izzet Phoenix though, it's rough, very explosive. This Explorer variation certainly is not nearly as explosive as Historic, so that's probably a big factor why we don't see it too much. At least I haven't really ever seen Izzet Phoenix much. Probably 1 or 2 times before this. Does get scary though. Usually they're going to take at least 1 game, and I do hope to go fast. Certainly a turn 2 Ledger Shredder is that's tough stuff. That's tough. Hopefully getting something on board. I did go Domri, figuring they wouldn't have enough damage to take them out. Hopefully not some targeted damage in combination with Ledger Shredder potentially going up to 2 power, but cross my fingers that at the worst case they would take Domri down to just 1 loyalty, and then we'd still be able to use him to ramp next turn for Ripjaw Raptor. Potentially fighting the Ledger Shredder there with Ripjaw if Domri was at 2. Oh, Strangle though. Well, I jinxed myself. That's for sure. Ouch.
Any skirmish you can walk away from, right?
Pretty decent. Doesn't make me have high hopes that Huntmaster is going to survive, that's for sure. Definitely just played it safe. Probably a big chance that Huntmaster would get answered by whatever we play. If I could have chained Huntmaster and Ripjaw having 5 lands down, I definitely would have done that, but oh. Lightning Axe, ooh. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. They discard a card and lose that removal, so they're down 2, and yeah, we just get a replacement. A literal replacement. That was like the Grixis Control matchup where they discarded a Shifting Ceratops, and then the very next turn we draw a Shifting as a replacement. Or it might have been a turn after that. Pretty sure I drew a placement right afterwards. Man, that is just the stuff of legend. But now being at 5, there was a potential for Huntmaster plus Ripjaw, but seeing what deck it is, lots of blue creatures, Shifting Ceratops, that is where it's at. Definitely. They're pretty low though, and I mean that Crackling Drake being 8-4. Really wish I had at least 1 source of green to give it reach and block the Crackling Drake. 5, Now at this particular moment, I was so excited to cast Carnage Tyrant, but it would have been better to go Regisaur Alpha, just to have 1 green left over, blocking the Crackling Drake, hopefully not dying if they had played multiple things. I just got too excited. The excitement got the better of me. But seeing the Ledger Shredders, absolutely, multiple Ledger Shredders, just made me feel that Blast Zone, that was the way to go. Taking out Huntmaster, of course, because it dies so easily. They have a lot of targeted removal. Charging Monstrosaur again, just, it's easy enough to die. Dies to that Lightning Axe. Shifting also dies, but certainly Shifting in this matchup with the majority of their creatures being blue is better, I feel, at least. But just so much powerful targeted removal. Even if they have to discard something for Lightning Axe, dealing 5 damage takes out basically everything. So I always hope to maybe at least land 1 Carnage Tyrant. Marauding Raptor, likely not sticking around too long. They got the strangles, painful stuff. But it looks like a good hand. Anything like that. 4 lands, we got Marauding if it lives, and we get to go to turn 3 Ripjaw. We are definitely off to the races then. But having Blast Zone as a backup, I mean, that would have been just a Huntmaster. Would have been definitely more risky for sure. Much more explosive, but against a deck like this, you can't take risk. It doesn't really make sense to have Huntmaster in, I think. Well, Lightning Axe. Okay, that's not so bad. We're not drawing a card because they pinged Ripjaw, but using something so powerful just to take out Marauding, I like it. So, Ripjaw Raptor is hopefully a little bit safer. They may have to double up on removal in cases like this, but they knew they had to get rid of Marauding because big stuff may be coming down. Double Ledger Shredder, though. That's rough. Give it to me. This is a gauntlet for sure of recording, but I was tempted to go Ripjaw, seeing 2 Ledger Shredders. I don't like Ledger Shredders, so let's just slap that charge counter on Blast Zone and get her done. Looked like the game froze there for a little second. Well, maybe it didn't. Perhaps the opponent had something they could have done. Hard to say, but definitely feels nice getting both of them on Blast Zone. Perhaps the opponent didn't read what Blast Zone does. Didn't really make sense to play that 3rd Ledger Shredder. I mean, just gaining so much extra value. I'll take it. Bam. Oof. You can't counter a land, that's for sure. A land like Blast Zone. Sets them back, definitely. We would have been absolutely dead, smoked, having probably Ledger Shredders quickly getting to 3 power, 4 power, but they don't have a whole lot of cards in hand, so there's probably a pretty good chance they wouldn't be able to be casting 2 cards each turn if they're not drawing a lot of stuff. Definitely the Lightning Axe certainly sets them back. Ledger Shredder wise, they don't have a whole lot. Certainly I'm not unhappy, or I am happy when they play Arc like Phoenix straight from their hand, just to get a little bit more damage. That's quite fantastic. Hey, that's the fun thing about this list. Bodies, bodies, bodies. Slam them. Get them done. Protection could have been nice as well. Tameo safekeeping, blossoming defense to save the Regisaur Alpha, of course, but, if they're not targeting your guys, you may not really ever need to use that stuff to save them, so might as well capitalize during those situations and just play something big instead that you brought in, and you cut that stuff that saves them. So yeah, this list is just absolutely performing better than I expected. I've kind of gone to a list like this before. I've tried out pretty much every variation, but this one especially. And it's nice to compare lists that feature something like Blossoming or Tameos to save whatever you play, and then something like this where you just jam it chock full of good dinos. Ooh. Man, that doesn't get much better than that. A little dinky Ledger Shredder is not going to save them. Bam. Maximum power. That will do it. That will kill him. This was such a powerful game. It drained my phone's battery quick. It's like we can't handle the damage output that is coming from the dinos right now. You're going down to 20%. It was pretty quick that it went down to 10% after this. Ooh. yeah, we can do with Unlicensed Hearse, potentially if they get some of the Arclight Phoenixes into the graveyard. But again, doesn't seem like that happens too often. There's no Faithless looting. There's just a lot less that they can do. But, you know, in the future, there's going to be cards that really help a deck like this. Get stuff in the graveyard, just support it in whatever way. So it's something to always keep in mind, keep your eye on with any new set release. A deck like this, a classic, fantastic deck like this, it's going to get more tools. But this looks like good tools. I mean, there we go with the Blast Zone helping us out to get towards Shifting Ceratops there. Unlicensed Hearse, very nice to see if we need it. Alright. No Ledger Shredder, that's good. Maybe they're having flashbacks and trauma because we popped the Blast Zone and took 3 of them out the previous game. They're probably a little bit scared from when that happened. Didn't think they could counter it for one. Maybe they have Spell Pierce or something, but that wouldn't make sense with Dino since basically all our stuff is creatures. There's the Ledger Shredder. Alright. Well, let's slap down that Shifting Ceratops. Get her done. Hope they don't have a Lightning Axe, of course. Crackling Drake. I mean, they haven't done much. Certainly it's nice seeing a Crackling Drake as a 1/4. Very scary stuff. Oftentimes I've seen it as well. Previously an 8, 10/4, potentially if they've just been playing a whole bunch of stuff. Double Shifting Ceratops, 1 left over to give that reach. I mean, this is a good position to be in. Oh, the Phoenix. And sneaky reach as well. Maybe they think they've got it locked up. No, I probably could have done with the Ledger Shredder, but I feel in this situation it's better to block the Crackling Drake just because it has the potential to get bigger faster than the Ledger Shredder. But the sneaky reach there, that is where it's at. They're looking at it and they're shedding tears. You know it. You know that's what they're doing. Ooh. Alrighty, well, the gauntlet of matches. Hopefully you enjoyed. Remember, there is always room for improvement, and maybe see you tonight. Have a good one.